Hello, welcome to Reflections. This is the Hacktivist channel, and I'm Kevin Tame. And I've been working on the Comrades Val deck, and I will be playing against AgInfusion. So when I realize it's AgInfusion, I instantly think, oh, this is probably a Hydra build, but I'm unsure. So I want to make sure that that I'm able to get some early accesses. Film Critic is obviously really good. But being able to deal with the IT department is the real issue, and I don't really have clear answers for it. Yes, this is a pretty decent starting hand, having daily cast and sure gambles. Um, I really and obviously like my dirty laundries, just a really good hand. I don't want to lose my rebirth because I want that for future. Um, so yeah, just getting out some good econ early here. Really great start. He's kind of starting to dig for some ice. So for me, I'm just debating here to kind of check. It's like maybe a decent time to check, but I don't want to hit a DNA tracker. So just kind of building up my economy still. This was a super helpful time for me because I can kind of see what's in his hand. He has Melange and Nisei Mark II and a Philotic Entanglement. So it's a really good time for me to go in and kind of see if I can steal those. So yeah, just using my Omar ability, I have high probability of hitting one of those agendas. So this is a great opening play just to go ahead and snag those from him. I think it might have been a little better if I had gotten the turning wheel. Well, I wouldn't have got the counter then because I was still an agenda. This was kind of a risky play in hindsight because if it's a DNA tracker or anything like that, kind of stinks to get hit by that. Or also stinks to get hit by the, like, not the Tithonium, but the Chiashi. See, I'm really digging here to kind of get my breakers out so I can start dealing with stuff. Just taking some early face checks. Feel like if they're not, the worst thing that they could be is a DNA tracker, which isn't great, but with a full hand size, it's not gonna kill me. I actually like him having rezzed ice because I can kind of predict like what's gonna happen or what he's gonna do. This is also a really good time to run this remote because if it is some, it kind of, he can't like toss me into something else. I'm still not exactly sure what type of build this is. I don't know if he's just kind of rushing or what he's doing, but now that I have Black Orchestra, I can go in and kind of start getting some value digs. Gotta trash that immediately. And here I'm just like, getting up a counter. Kakugo is really great to bounce off of when you are trying to just um, build up your turning wheel counters. So now I'm in a good, having a turtle is actually really good against Roto Turret because it it allows me to obviously deal with it because it's at 0 strength. One thing though that is, and the other thing I really wanted to, what I realized is when he did his celebrity gift, I saw an Excalibur in there. So I wanted to be able to deal with the Excalibur, and having the turtle credits is, or the turtle counters is one of the best ways to deal with that. At this point, I'm thinking to myself, do I just draw up? But I use my iPad worse because damage isn't going to be horrible this round for me. Um, because it's not a PE deck, and he's not going to have lots of traps, I'm assuming. Maybe some breach domes here and there. But it's just better to just get the draw, I thought. So you can see what he's doing here is he's trying to keep me out. But here it's actually just cheaper for me to not Omar run, but just to hit HQ. So I opt to jack out. And I'm pretty sure this is the Tithonium. I'm not sure it's the best. He just doesn't have any like sticky ice to throw me into. This one I definitely need to install and break. So I do. I get to pay cheaply through the, or just have the turtle and get through the roto turret. I think that was a mistake right there. I think he had a Nisei Mark II that he had pitched in the bin, and it probably would have been better for me to actually go and check that. What I'm thinking here is like, do I want to play my Liberated and kind of get my card draw going? Because I have this mining accident that I want to hit off here as soon as possible. But I was a little poor to get either through R&D, and I didn't want to take the damage off of Kakugo. So now this feels like a good time for me to try and, get this mining accident off. It's going to take 1 damage, and I'm pretty sure it's not going to hit uh, the Kakugo. That was kind of a bummer to hit the breach dome. And it actually hit an indexing, which was a real pain. And he's really in a place where he can't. He can't risk. I mean, he can't pay the 5 for that. That's be too much for him. Here I don't really need any of these cards, so I'm taking a free Kakugo hit because I don't mind if they get pinged. This one is I'm debating here to steal this, but it seemed like a no-brainer. It seems like I had to do it. And then just draw up, yeah. He seems like he's really got his, he's in kind of a tough place here. Now that I'm on that many points, and I'm hoping here that I can close this out with the indexing, because he has no derezzed ice on R&D, and so I'm thinking this is like the perfect time to do it. But I got a big fat whiff. I don't really want the arc lockdown or the voter intimidation specifically hitting my turning wheel counters. Given the breach dome, I didn't think that was horrible. Now, it would have maybe been a good idea for me to go use turning wheel counters on HQ here. But I opted just to I was really debating what I should go do, but I opted just to pitch or just to to get some money here. And it probably would have been an ideal time because he obviously had an agenda in hand when he was able to kind of rush it. And here is a situation where I make a mistake where I forget that he has Excalibur, and I cannot steal this agenda because he's going to fire Excalibur, and I don't have the turtle counter to break it, and the turtle virus counters, and so he's going to push me off here, and I just can't make another run again. Now what I was debating here is, do I continue? You know, I'm already committed to the run. I want to get an access, and it's kind of an opportunity maybe just to check archives. I also do run a big risk, though, of hitting breach domes and whatnot. And him pausing here then makes me think also, like, oh, maybe there is something here. Maybe he's thinking, oh, I've lost this game. But, you know, I don't know why he would push me there if he knew there was an agenda there, in hindsight. Curiosity just getting the best of me, which maybe isn't the best decision here, costing me a total of 4 credits, but only getting hit with 1 card isn't the end, and I wanted to see what he had lost. Yeah, not having the foresight to go in it when I whiffed on the indexing, when I should have just ran in and done a turning wheel turn would have been ideal. It was because I think I would have closed out the game there easily. See, now I'm checking HQ because I want to charge up my turtle counter to be able to deal with this Excalibur because I don't want him to rush anything out again. I do know he has a breach dome in hand. The other thing is I'm looking for an opportunity to also use another mining accident. And I don't see any, unfortunately. And that was another questionable misplay because I trashed the breach dome, and having the breach dome is actually really useful, and I want to be able to I want the turtle counters more than anything because that Excalibur could become a real problem for me. I was kind of bummed about losing this turning wheel because I had already lost the other one in the bin, and now I have no more indexings, so I can only win off of single accesses, and so I'm really desperate here to just find things. And I'm realizing eventually that there's nothing on HQ, so I had to start poking through R&D through single accesses, and my strategy here is to win out by just trying to get a single poke off of R&D or HQ. The problem is I have a feeling what he's going to do is he's going to that he wants to overdraw to try and get my to try and get an agenda before. But the problem then is I have the turtle counters to deal with Excalibur. And so it's kind of this like fine balance that he is trying to figure out how to deal with my turtle while at the same time dealing with um, like me poking off R&D, because there's no real other way that I can find stuff. And so I want to force him to res, because I don't think there's anything like he can hit here. So I'm thinking like, I want him to res this thing on R&D. At this point, my assumption is it's a DNA tracker, and he just doesn't want to spend all of his money to res it. But it's a Kakugo, which is actually the worst thing for me, because now whenever I make runs where I'm going to win off, what the way I want to win is off of these accesses, uh, these single accesses, and having a Kakugo there, I just eventually run out of deck. And so for him, it's all now also a really good time to purge. He'll want to purge, and now for me to like charge up, I have to take basically 3 net damage to charge up my turtle. And so that gives him a really good scoring window. What I'm hoping here is, since I have the film critic, I can just put an Obokata on it and win if it's an Obokata. The other thing I have to kind of manage here is getting through this server, even though I have some bad pub. Seeing that voter intimidation kind of makes me a little sad as well, because having the film critic, I have a feeling he's going to try and get rid of that. The main reason I run HQ here is I'm just hoping to hit my iPad worse so I don't have to actually waste clicks drawing. I debated playing a sure gamble, but I realize here at this point, my constraint is no longer, it's not money. I mean, money is a constraint, but it's actually cards because of Kakugo. So every time I hit Kakugo, I get pinged. So I don't really want to waste cards on money. I'd rather just click up at that point. Having a charged up turtle makes this a little cheaper to deal with, and having the bad pub obviously helps as well. I feel like this seems like a good time for him to purge, but he's also really poor, and so he's kind of in a tough spot. So yeah, he just starts to he draws up one. So now he has a card, an extra card that I haven't seen. So I'm going to go check R&D to see if I can win off of here, and then I kind of want to go check HQ to see if he drew something. And it's a good time because my turtle is so charged high, it only cost me a total of 4 credits, and actually only 1 credit of my own money. And 1 card, obviously. There's a few moments here where my opponent it took him a little bit to hit continue. So I definitely can't have the baddie. And so since I only saw 1 card there, and I have currently 2 clicks left, I could easily do a film critic play. And it only cost me 1 credit. I know this is a good just opportunity to go in and check R&D again because it might be an Obokata. So here I just know I want to draw up, but I'm really on limited amount of deck now. And so it's kind of coming to the end for me. If I run out of deck, I'm really hosed. So here now he draws up, so I think he might have drawn something into his hand. But I opt for checking R&D just once. That seems like I need to check that and then go hit HQ a few times. So yeah, going to check HQ seems the most logical step. I think he might be hiding some in archives. So I'm kind of debating to go check that. He has 4 face down, but I figure HQ seems like a good place to check. Because if he drew into an Obokata or anything, I can just post it onto Film Critic. And there, yeah, I just host it, draw up, and he can't score this turn, so that ends up being the game. So at the end of this game, I'm not 100% sure if this was the Hydra build, but it has some of the ice that I would have seen. But I didn't see, obviously, the IT department, or I didn't see some of the cards that I thought I would. So I'm kind of unsure. One of the key moments here, though, was getting the Obokata. Obviously, that was really the first Obokata is really good. Once you get that, it makes the game a lot easier. The other thing was winning that second voter intimidation when you're trying to get the film critic was also a key point in the game. The big misplay was that I should have used the turning wheel and checked HQ when I whiffed on the second indexing. That was just a misplay where I should have known that if I'm not seeing it in R&D, it's highly likely there's something in HQ. Well, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this reflection.